Welcome back to Krypton's Toy Vault. In this video, I'll be going over this Blokees Hatsune Mikue Sakura Blossom model kit. Alright, out of the box we got quite a bit to go over. We have 6 full sets of hands, 6 face plates, camera, couple of phones, picnic basket, plates, food, diorama piece, and the figure stand itself, and then the figure itself. Pretty good little haul of stuff, in my opinion. A lot of it's kind of this just molded plastic, no paint, no anything, but the sculpt's decent. I think it looks pretty good. It works well enough. Phone is pretty simple. Little pink square. Got some rice cakes. A dessert. Sandwich. We got 6 faceplates. 3 of them come pre-printed, and then it comes with water slide stickers for the other 3. I've already put them on, although I am not particularly amazing at it. This one turned out pretty decent. This one not so much. I got the eyes a little too close together. Then I did that one, and it turned out alright. The other 3 are pre-printed on, and obviously they turned out way better than mine. There we go. And then the one that she's wearing, we got 6 sets of hands. All of them your pretty standard gripping, open palm, grabbing things, reaching. This one's unique because it's got a little bird buddy attached to it. And then, like, some of them are specialized. This one's specifically made to hold the camera, like so. It works pretty good. Got a couple of dishes for the picnic. Again, pretty simple, but they do the job. The picnic basket. The handle would come off if you needed it to, and it'll move side to side and hold all the stuff pretty efficiently. We got the diorama piece, which is a tree with some flowers on it, sakura blossoms. It's pretty straightforward to put together. This whole set was pretty straightforward in the assembly department, and it comes with instructions, and it takes about 10-20 minutes of fiddling to get it put together. And then lastly, we have the stand. I actually really like these stands. Normally when you have to assemble them yourself, they don't work out too well. They're kind of flimsy, but this one has got pretty good teeth and ratchets pretty well. And then I really actually quite like this mechanism for holding the figure. This inner piece here is kind of a softer plastic on the insides, or I mean the lugs are plastic, and so when you squeeze them, they compress and the teeth open up, and when you let go, they kind of spring back and actually put pressure, a little bit of tension on those teeth, and so it'll actually grip on and hold the figure pretty pretty firmly however you want it posed. I like this. I've been quite pleased with it. I would love to see something like this in a little bit bigger scale for Marvel Legends or Mayfex or something like that. This I like. I will go ahead and pull her in, do a little bit articulation, and see what we've got. Pretty well posed in the posability department. Um, she is double jointed elbows, double jointed knees, tons of range of motion in movement in the feet, ankles, pivot side to side, rotation all the way around here, and then also in the actual ball joint itself, right here, will spin around. It has thigh cuts. Uh, the knee ball joint will also move. All of the ball joints will actually rotate, including the ones for the hair. Hair is articulated, and it's a nice, well done joint that, um, like, actually stays put when you move it out, so you can get it where you need it, and it'll stay put, which is fantastic. This is a model kit that feels more solid than a lot of actual action figures, and it just kind of impressed me a lot. This is actually not my first one. I've got the standard and the vivid echoes one as well, and all of them are similarly solid. They make great figures once they're put together, and they are fun to put together without being quite too in depth or too boring. Yeah, overall, it's a really good figure. I'm quite enjoying these Blokees figures. I think I'm gonna start digging into the Evangelion ones next and see how those fare compared to these. But so far, with the Blokees figures that I've got, I'm quite thoroughly impressed. That said, I will pull in some other figures, show you how she fits scale wise, and go from there. First up, we got a knockoff SH Figure Arts Launch on the left, and then on the right we have the Kutabakaya Frame Arts Optimus Prime. I had initially kind of expected these figures, they had said they were about true 6-inch scale, I thought, and I had initially expected them to fit in better with these other kind of more anime figures. That said, they don't. They're quite a bit bigger. They're much closer in scale to 6.5-inch or Marvel Legends scale, which was a little bit disappointing at first because I had intended to put him together with the other anime figures, but they work fine in a Marvel Legends or 6.5-inch scale size collection, as you'll see in a second. So it was a issue, but I got over it pretty quickly because I think I tend to prefer this scale a little bit better. Alright, here we have a couple of more younger heroes that I think fit in actually surprisingly well. We've got, of course, Superboy by Mayfex on the left, and we got first appearance Fantasy 15 Spider-Man on the right. And she's a little bit shorter than either of them, which I think makes sense, especially for, teenaged size superheroes. I was very pleasantly surprised when I put them side by side and saw how good they work together at that scale. And lastly, we've got a couple of Spartans, because what better than fitting an AI hologram girl with some Spartans? I think it works pretty well. They're Spartan 3s, not Spartan 2s, so they're quite a bit smaller than Spartan 2s, and I think it works pretty well. She's a good deal shorter, as she should be, and overall, it's pretty good scaling in my opinion. Final thoughts. I've really been enjoying these figures. I picked up the official costume first. That was my first foray into Blokees and their kits. I had done the Kudabakaya Frame Arts one prior, and it was all right. The finished product was decent, but it was a little fragile, and it just feels a little cheap and hollow. These figures, these feel extremely solid. Like, you can definitely pose these around without risk of damaging them or a limb snapping off. I just barely messed with this one, and it's one of its hair pieces snapped off at the joint, which was pretty disappointing. I don't have any fear of that happening with these three. I they've made me a believer. I'm not gonna start doing the Transformers thing, despite having the Frame Arts one. I'm not huge into Transformers, but like I said, I'm gonna start looking into their Evangelion stuff and some of their other properties. I'm totally down to look into those. These are fantastic. They've made a believer out of me. Um, they're good. They are as good as an action figure with the fun of putting them together. They're not cheap. They're about $50 a piece, but they come with, well, not 50, 40-ish after shipping and all that a piece, but they come with a whole bunch of stuff. They've got accessories, they've got diorama pieces, they've got, each one has its own unique thing to it, and I'm just, overall, I'm loving it. I'm really glad I started picking them up, and they look great on the shelf. They look good together. I'm super excited to start expanding this Blokees collection a little bit further. Um, they're fitting well with the 6.5 inch scale. They're a little too big for a true 6 inch or a SH Figure Arts like 5.5 inch scale or whatever they use. But for 6.5 inch scale, they work. They'd be a little bit big for true 6 inch, but they wouldn't look too out of place. That said, they look great. I'm super excited to have them, and totally excited to pick up some more. That said, that's all I've got to say about the Sakura Blossom Hatsune Miku from Blokees. This has been Krypton's Toy Vault. I thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.